you guys some options of ways that you can stay social while social distancing. Okay. Don't feel like you have to turn your camera on or anything like that. If you guys want to stay black screens, it's fine. It's cool. That's cool. I'd love to see your face if it's okay, but if not, no worries. But please participate, whether it's through the chat or if you want to turn your mic on. This will be a lot better if it's like a group discussion. Okay. Oh yeah. Follow me. These to you on Instagram. Yeah. Do that. Yep. Follow that. Yep. But this will go a lot better if we have more of a discussion. I know you guys sit in class all day with the teacher talking to you. I'm not trying to do that. Okay. I want to keep it balanced. So I'm gonna give you guys some tips, some information, and you guys can feel free to ask questions at any time, or jump in if you have a tip of yourself for yourself. All right. Okay. Let's get started. All right. So first of all, what are relationship skills? Okay. So social distancing due to the COVID-19 pandemic can be particularly challenging for teens who thrive on social connections and may be missing events like prom or graduation. Social distancing slows the spread of COVID-19. That's why it's important that we keep our distance. All right. I know you guys want to hang out. I know you want to be with your friends, but in order to get things back to normal, we must stay away until they figure things out. Okay. Please don't feel isolated or alone. You are not. Okay, we are all going through this. We are all here together. And just like with phase one, we're trying to work on our mental health and improving that with relationship skills. Yes. With these forums. All right. So the types of relationships that I'd like to talk about are personal relationships. So those that you have with your friends or your non-parental family. Okay, so like your cousins, or maybe if you have like an aunt and uncle that you're close to, like because the age gap is maybe smaller, or other family members. I'd also like to talk a little bit about romantic relationships, so your partner, your significant other. And lastly, I'd like to talk about relationships dealing with authority. So like your parents or guardians, and dealing with your teachers. All right. So maintaining friendships during the pandemic, there are a lot of different things you can do. All right. In this great world of technology, there's ways to stay connected. Is there anything that you guys have been doing already that has helped you stay connected with your friends and family members that you may not see in your household? Is there anything that you guys have been doing? FaceTime is great, right? It's easy to pick up the phone now and actually video call someone and see them and be able to talk. That face-to-face interaction is so vital, right? Sometimes just hearing someone's voice, it's great. But like if you can do a video chat every now and then, maybe once a week or once every few weeks with people who you may not talk to every day, it makes a big difference. Okay, especially when you're dealing with family members that don't live in your city or they live far away, right? And older family members, you might want to connect with your grandparents, being able to see their face and making them see your face through video chat. You also have video games. I don't know, a lot of you guys play online. You can have your group chats through online games, and that's great, but you do also want to kind of minimize your screen time. I understand that you have all this extra time because you're not out and about, but at the same time, you still want to limit your screen time. You want to become like, zombies just playing video games all day. You look at the computer when you're at school, then you get off the computer and then you get on your video game. Okay, it's not good for your eyes. You need to take a break from that, right? So there are other ways you can be social without, being on the screen, but we'll also talk about those. All right. So I got a little list here. All right. So we talked about video chats with your friends. Face-to-face communication is so important. It helps build stronger relationships with others. I find that you can actually create like a weekly challenge within your friend group. So maybe at the beginning of the week, you guys will set a challenge for each other. Like, okay, this week we are gonna work out every single day, and you keep yourself accountable. You guys can create like a WhatsApp group and keep yourself accountable. You can also play games online, like through apps like House Party or Zoom or Google Meets. All right, these are great ways you can do like virtual game nights, right? I've actually had a few virtual game nights myself, and they actually work better than you would think. You just have to organize it and figure out games that you can play while not sitting in front of the same person. So like obviously card games don't work, but Categories is a great game to play, as well as you could play water pong. We have to like throw the ball into the cups. If you guys have questions about that, I can do a demo on how you do that virtually. It's actually really fun.
Amanda, you want to see if anybody is already doing that?
Please. What are some of the things you guys have been doing?
Yes.
To stay connected with your friends?
I like to call out people who've been here before, so I would love to hear from Eliana and
Josiah. We can call out Josiah as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So Eliana first. How about you?
It's okay. It could be anything you've been doing to stay connected, even if it's something I've said.
You may need a second.
Yeah.
Okay. If not, while we're waiting for her, then I get another one. Leandre, how about you?
Yeah, mostly for me, I've used House Party a lot during the quarantine. Also FaceTime. Like I just talked to my friends just recently, like a couple of minutes before I got on this call, and things like playing games with other people through PlayStation have been really common. That's kind of what I turn to now, especially with all the free time, as Amanda was mentioning. So yeah, that's about it for me on the technology side.
Okay. Raeanne, you said you had somebody you were gonna ask?
Yeah, we can ask Josiah. So Josiah, what are some things that you do at home right now to stay connected with your friends?
Mostly like video games, FaceTime, House Party, a lot of stuff. Like especially in times like this, is more stuff, more ways like online to communicate with your friends and things like that.
What video games are you playing right now? Is it or something?
Playing games like Call of Duty or my racing games like Need for Speed, stuff like that. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. I seen someone said there's like social media. Of course, you have Instagram, Snapchat. Those are great ways to interact with friends and family. I've also just discovered recently, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Netflix Party, but it's a place where you can it's a website where you can actually time stream, so you guys can watch movies together from like different places. So if I'm here and you guys are there, we can go on to Netflix Party, which is now called Teleparty. So you go, you type
the link.
Sorry?
Can you send the link?
Yeah, I can.
Send the link.
So you can actually stream movies. You can use Disney. You can use Netflix. You can use Disney Plus, Hulu, and HBO. And it's still Netflix party.com, but it'll just take you to the updated website, Netflixparty.com. And it'll sync the stream for the movie. So if you ever want to watch a movie with somebody who, maybe like a significant other, or you want to do like a movie time, like with your friends, like a movie, sleepover movie night type thing, you can sync through this website the movies, so you can watch it at the same time, and then like you can be on like video chat and then watch the movie. And then I know it's not exactly the same as being with them, but you know what? It's the options that we have, and I think it's still a great opportunity to interact and watch something that, together, without having to try to take your phone and try to like, you guys have done that? Because I've done that, where you try to like link the screen with the video. I've done that a few times. Doesn't work as good. This this right here, this is a lot better. All right. As well as, definitely keeping in touch with older family members, like your grandparents, if you have them around, or older aunts and uncles or cousins, because they're usually by themselves, and you just want to make sure that, you kind of reach out to them and, talk to them. And it makes you feel good too, because, you're not as isolated, and they also know that they're not isolated as well. Then we have like romantic relationships. Okay. So I know a lot of you guys are teens and you want to be with your significant other. And at this time, it's particularly hard because obviously you need to stay away. Okay. It is not okay to go hang out with your significant other if, certain, protocols with your parents and their parents, and if they're not inside your direct bubble. Okay. But there are ways you can still spend time together. All right. So video chat, obviously, you could always do an online double date. If you guys are, if you have a friend group that's also dating, you guys can do set up like a video online date. You can do activities, games. You can have supervised social distance dates. So if you have parents that are willing to or older siblings that are willing to kind of be around, there are ways to have, when it gets warmer outside, to have, dates outside while social distance. I've seen there's a lot of articles online with people doing those type of things where, yes, they can't physically touch or anything like that, but they still get to be in that person's presence. And sometimes that's, it's good. It feels good just to be able to see them in person. And lastly, when we talk about our parent-guardian relationships, so now, because you're cooped up in the house, it's important that you do spend time with your family, especially now because you guys are around each other. Maybe you can find out things you didn't know before. You can get to know and can become closer with your family. But it's also important to spend time, on your own, doing things for your own personal growth. There are a lot of courses that are online if you guys are interested in doing other courses, or you can start a book club with your friends. There's a lot of options where you can find books to read together online. You guys can get together and talk about that. You could spend time cooking with your family, maybe have a family game night or family challenges in the kitchen, find a recipe and see who can make, if you guys like to cook, see who can make the best recipe version of that recipe. You can work in teams, you can work individually, but I do think it's important to, spend time with your family when you get the opportunity to, but also to, have time for yourself.
Okay. Amanda, you have about 10 minutes, but I think this would be a great opportunity to see if anybody, if any of those are realistic for some people, or is there any of those suggestions that Amanda's made so far that any of you have either tried or could see yourself trying, or even sound like something that you'd really like to try? Anybody, and you could start in the chat, and then we'll be reading out in the chat as well too. But if you think about some of those suggestions, anybody? I know I like the Netflix party. That jumped out at me right away. But even
you got that on the list.
That would be great to find out.
Taylor, we can do a double date. Taylor. And anyone, does that jump out? Any of those jump out to anybody that or interest?
Cooking with the family is a good one to try.
Okay, yeah. Cooking with family.
Yeah. I do have a question for you guys.
Netflix party sounds good.
Yeah.
Anyone else? We got a few more new people jumping in right now, Amanda. So
Okay.
a couple of people late to the party, but
All right. Since you're late, you got to answer this question.
I think they never heard it. Well, the Netflix party seems like it's the most popular one.
Yeah, that definitely, that one was like, when I seen it, I was like, what? I've been trying to sync it, like you're like 1, 2, 3, push play type thing. Like it was a lot of struggle. This will make life a lot easier, I think, for sure. But my question would be, just in general, how do you guys feel about your relationships right now, whether they're personal ones or romantic ones or whatever the case is? Like, are you having any difficulties? And if you are, you know, how have you found ways to solve those difficulties or to make them better? Or maybe you haven't, and maybe you like some assistance, where we have a group of people here that can, help give some insight. So how do you guys feel right now about some of your relationships and in the quarantine? Are you able to maintain them? Or have they stretched a little bit? Have some people fallen off? Have people gotten closer?
Dave said it's hard not seeing friends. Brianna, is this Brianna Bruce? Is that
Yes, Brianna Bruce.
Hey, Brianna. Brianna is all the way in Jamaica. So, Brianna, how difficult has it been for you at this time? In Jamaica, give us another a perspective from another place. How's it been for you?
Well, personally, for me, it's not that hard because I can still go out and see friends. We just have to choose, like, say, 5 of us to go this time. And then, so we don't have a large group of friends meeting because, the virus is still going on and all. So we don't meet in a large group. So I am still able to meet with my friends. It's just their availability. And so my relationships with my friends have still been going strong. It has even brought some of us closer. Yeah, that's it for me.
Nice. You're fortunate. That's good.
Yeah, we have the number limit here as well, but it's hard to go outside when it's cold. So I don't know how many people are going to go outside right now, but I do get it.
Leandre said he's made new
Yeah.
friends and lost some old ones.
Made some new ones, lost some old ones. Yeah, that's true. Communication is just a component. Once there's interest there, the relationship is maintained. Yeah, communication is key. If you aren't communicating, then the person might think you're not interested, or you don't think they're interested because they're not communicating, and then there's that line is broken. So yeah, you definitely need to communicate, whether it's through social media or FaceTime or whatever it is that you need to do. But you got to make the effort, right? If there is an interest, of course. If they're not interested, then whatever. But yeah.
Okay.
So,
about 5 more minutes.
okay, let's see. I have another question. How do you feel the pandemic has impacted your relationships with others? So never mind, we kind of answered that one. Have your personal relationships helped you feel better in times of, like, have you been feeling down or depressed? How have your personal relationships, like currently now, helped you? Because I know, like a lot of you guys are saying, it's you want to see your friends, you want to be with your friends, so you might feel, again, a little bit isolated or a little bit sad because you can't see them. How have your relationships helped you with this? Have they been helping, or have they not? Can anybody speak on that, and from any personal experience on how your relationships are affecting your mental health? Are they helping you, kind of stay sane in this crazy world we got going on right now?
Leandra, you had said you had made some new friends and lost some old ones. Is that something that's been pretty impactful on you? Positively, negatively?
Yeah, I think it's definitely impacted me positively. Like, there's been many times where I've just found myself in a situation where I'm just alone, for lack of a better term. And then it's easy to reach out to other people and just talk to them, right? But I think there are problems when you have people to talk to, maybe just have a little conversation with, but to actually have like a proper outlet and really talk about some deeper things, that's kind of hard to find somebody like that. So it's a mixed bag, I would say, especially right now.
Okay.
Why do you think it's difficult right now to find someone to have those deeper conversations with? What's preventing you from creating those connections?
I think it's that I'm not really face to face with anybody. You know, obviously with the social distancing and that it can still be done, and I've had to social distance before, but I think it's just that it's not as common. Whereas if I'm just in front of somebody, I can do things like read body language and like do all that type of stuff, right? So I think it's that I'm not like actually looking at somebody face to face is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Eliana wrote, there's a person that I know who has the same issues as me, but we both try to build each other up every time we're down, improving ourselves together. Eliana, do you mind elaborating on that just a little bit? We just got a couple minutes left.
Basically, whenever there's a problem where we're both feeling like upset or we're feeling both kind of tied up from the whole pandemic and stuff like that, we're generally just trying to help keep ourselves feeling okay and trying to be happy and stuff.
And is this
Basically, we have her.
And this is Eliana in Trinidad?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we got.
They're not in Trinidad. They're in America. I'm in Trinidad.
Oh, okay, you're in Trinidad. Okay.
It's that connection going overseas. Yeah, like that. Okay, well, hopefully I gave you guys a couple tips.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for participating in my discussion. I hope you guys continue to build on your relationship skills. And if you need more information, please do not hesitate to reach out. You can find me on Instagram, beast2YOU. You can follow me. I may or may not follow back. We'll see how that goes. I'm just kidding. I'll follow back.
Hey, just really quick. Do you mind everyone just put in the chat where you're from? We're gonna find out later, but just out of curiosity right now, because some of our speakers not aware, where our audience is coming from right now. So we have Brampton, Toronto, Florida, Jamaica, Richmond Hill, Ajax. I cannot say that place in Trinidad. Eliana, can you say that name, please?
Tunapuna.
Okay. All right. More New York, Taylor, Trinidad. Okay, while you're doing that, so next, Raeanne, do you want to go next, or Taylor? Because I messed up the order. Taylor, do you have a preference, or because I just realized you're actually supposed to be first up. That's my.
I'm fine with either. I can go now if that works.
Okay, Raeanne, which is better for you? You're on mute.
I can go third, I said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, well, so next up, we got Taylor. He's going to talk about in interviewing virtually, and this is something we talked about. There's certain skills that that you may not get an opportunity to use right now in a normal setting, in a normal way, but you may still be actively looking for opportunities to where you have to look for a job or a school or different type of interview situation Taylor will get into. But this is something that a topic that Taylor is going to he's going to touch on with us right now. That's interviewing at this time.
Yeah, sure. I'll just do a quick background, and then I'll jump into some interview tips. We also definitely want to make this interactive. I want to help answer any questions that anyone has with interviewing. I know it can be sometimes an anxiety process and nerve-wracking, so definitely want to help talk through those questions. If there's any help that I can provide or anyone on the panel, definitely want to help with that. So just a quick background. My name is Taylor Johnston. I've been with the Phase 1 program for over half my life at this point. Started with Wayne Dawkins back in when I was 13 or 14. Went on and played Division I basketball at Binghamton University, and then afterwards stayed at Binghamton, got my MBA, and now I work at New York City for a management consulting company. So today I know we want to talk about interviewing. I've personally conducted actually over 25 interviews in my position. I've hired people at my firm. I've also recruited as well. But at the same time, I've also been on the other end of it. So I've been an interviewee as well. So wanted to talk through 5 main tips, and I'll pause after each tip and maybe provide some general advice on how you can kind of best prepare for an interview, and then also take some time to answer questions after each point. First main point is before you even step into the interview, the one thing you want to do is prepare. You want to research the company. So it doesn't matter if you're interviewing for a job at Tim Hortons or if you're interviewing a job at Google. You should know what the business does, because one of the first questions that's probably going to come up is they're going to ask, why do you want to work here? And a great way to answer that, I found in the past, is if you can look at that company's core vision and mission statement, and you can find something that you can align to it, that's a great way to answer that question. So for instance, if you looked at Apple, they probably have a core mission statement of innovation. So if you could answer, I want to work at Apple because I've always been a very innovative person. I've done X, Y, and Z throughout my life, and I like making things better. That could be a good way to answer. So I'll pause there for a second. Does anyone have any initial questions on kind of that first one, prepare and research the company? Or has anyone recently been on an interview, or do they have an interview coming up? Or I know it's tough with COVID, and I know a lot of people aren't probably applying for jobs right now. And if they are, it's probably all virtual. So it's definitely a new aspect and parameter, but.
Okay, Leandre, how about you?
To be honest, this is important to know because I do have a lifeguarding job that I wanted to look at, but I have not applied for anything yet. Though I am listening intensively.
Okay. I'll carry on a little bit. The second interview point I'd have is understand your why. Everyone's unique and everyone has strengths and weaknesses. So if you can know that your top 3 strengths and how you can apply that to the position you're applying for, that's always a good question, because that's something they're going to always ask you is, why should we hire you? Or why do you think you'd be a good fit? Or what are your strengths? Or what do you bring to this position? So if you can have 3 strengths in your back pocket and you can talk through those and articulate those, that's always a good tip and something to have in your back pocket, because it will definitely come up on an interview. The next one is formulate good questions. So as you're interviewing, right, they're always going to ask you questions, but at the same time, they're going to, at the end of it, ask you if you have any questions for them. And that's just as important as the questions that you get asked and how you respond to them. So one of my favorite tips with formulating a good question for the interview is, what are the top 3 characteristics that you would be looking for someone in this position? And the reason I like that question is because you can tell exactly what that person on the other end that's hiring is looking for in the job. That might not always be clear in the job description or from what you found when you've been researching. But if you can tie that back and know exactly what they're looking for, and then after the interview, when you send a follow-up email or a follow-up call, and you can talk to those 3 points and why you're a good fit for those 3 characteristics, that will definitely set you apart from anyone that you're interviewing with. And that's a good thing to do with any interview. Interviewing something that we're all going to have to do throughout our lives. And the better you can kind of get comfortable with it now at a younger age, it's definitely a lifelong skill that you can carry on for the rest of your life.
Okay.
Well, I'll pause again. Are there any questions so far, or any general ideas?
I'm actually kind of curious if you could put in the chat a 1 or a 1 if you've been on an interview before, and 2 if you've never been on an interview before. So want to see this chat light up, because if you've been on an interview before, and 2 and a 2, and then okay, so a lot of 1s. So we have a lot of people who've been on. Keep going. I know there's more.
Okay.
Okay. got a lot of people being on interviews before. So I'm actually kind of curious because, you know, Taylor, when I thought about what you just said right there, my first thought was if they even gave me the characteristics, that's one thing, but what characteristic about myself would I even identify as being something that's valuable? Because sometimes we don't even know ourselves that well too. So if somebody did give 3 characteristics, would we be able to identify them within ourselves? Brianna, what would be a characteristic about yourself that if you heard it in the interview, you'd be like, yes, that's me?
You can say I'm a team player and I'm organized. Yeah, punctual. Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
3, yeah.
Okay, good. So if any of those came up, you'd be that for you for sure. Raheem, how about you? No. Shania? I'm gonna try one more person and see if I get lucky. Well, I know Tafara, you're on.
Yeah, I'm on.
And what about you? What about you? 3, if the potential employer said 3 characteristics to identify about yourself right away.
Repeat that for me. Repeat the last part.
Which characteristic about yourself would you be able to identify right away if you heard it, heard an interviewer, list it?
Athletic.
Athletic.
Yeah, basketball, right?
Nope.
Huh?
No, a regular job.
Oh, regular job. Oh, well, discipline. I'll say I'm disciplined and determined. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I came on late, so that's why.
No problem. Tafara is all the way in Jamaica as well too. Where exactly though, Tafara?
Montego Bay.
Okay.
Montego Bay. Yeah.
Right. Montego Bay.
And just to add to that, 3 general skills that are usually pretty good and usually come up pretty consistently, and doesn't matter what the job is, I'd say is 1 is teamwork. Can you work with people? 2 is leadership. Can you do the right thing? Can you help people get better? And then the 3rd one I would say is being organized, or time management skills. So can you handle multiple responsibilities at one? Can you prioritize? So those are all 3 skills that will come up consistently. It doesn't really matter what the job is, just very generic across the board. And even right now where you are in your personal life and different jobs that you're be applying for. So
sorry, what are those 3 again? Taylor, I'm just going to write them in the chat.
Yeah, I'd say the first one is teamwork. Being able to work with people. A collective team can do more than 1 person. So that's definitely something every employer is going to look for. The next one is leadership. Can you be trusted to do the right thing? Can you be trusted to help make the firm better or the company better and make people around you better? And then the last one is being organized / time management. Those are 3 skills that over and over, any job that I've seen, even from when I was in high school applying for jobs to like now working professionally, are 3 skills that come up over and over. So just some things to think about when you're developing your resume, when you're preparing for an interview. If you can think of those 3 skills and maybe talk about different stories, and you can tie that back to athletics, you can try that back to school.
Okay. Well, while Taylor's going on, why don't you, everyone in the chat, pick the number 1, which one of these skills would be the most dominant skill, or, that you have: teamwork, leadership, or organizational time management. So Taylor, I'm just going to have them put that in there while you keep going.
Yeah, sure. And I saw that Nina had a question, so I'll answer that one quickly. She asked, do you think the interview process online is easier or the same as in-person interview? So I would personally say it's probably harder online just because it's harder to make a connection with your interviewee. It's tougher to read the body language. It's tough to have more of a informal conversation compared to when you hop on a webcam and you've never met someone, and it's a little bit more awkward, I would say. But the benefit of doing it online is I think you can apply for more jobs as you're busy, and say you can't make an interview, and you can just hop on a webcam and hop on an interview quick and then get undressed and go and carry on about your business. You don't have to travel to the interview. You don't have to go through that hassle. So there are definitely pros and cons of each, but I would say it's probably a little bit tougher online. A lot of people aren't as comfortable naturally online as they are in person is another big factor.
Okay.
But I think that's a good segue into kind of the next thing that I want to talk about is how to set up a virtual interview.
Sorry, Taylor, somebody had one question. I don't know if you can answer it real quick before you go on. Dion asked, wouldn't leadership and teamwork fall under the same umbrella?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I would describe it as a little bit different. So teamwork is the ability to work with people, how to take an order, and leadership is how to give an order. So think of leadership as being the captain, and think of teamwork as being more of just a role player. So you could say they're a little bit similar, but as you move up, there's definitely more, you see who the true leaders are and more of the teamwork aspects as well.
Okay. Brianna said agreed. And just so you know, from the chat, the majority of the responses we got so far were leadership as their strongest quality. That's good.
That's good. We got a lot of future leaders in this group. Yeah, so feel free to keep putting questions in the chat, or if you want to go off mute, you can definitely ask them in person too, whatever works best. But also just kind of wanted to quickly talk about how to prepare for a virtual interview. Just with the times we're in right now with COVID, it might be a while before any of us are going back into an in-person interview. So with that being said, just a few tips and tricks that I'd recommend is definitely the first thing is getting prepared. So you want to hop on the meeting for the interview, whatever you have, at least 5 minutes early. Just make sure that you don't have any technical issues that you may potentially run into. You never know, your internet might drop, or your computer might not be working, or need a restart, whatever the case may be. So the first one I'd say is join at least 5 minutes early, if not earlier. 5 to 10 is a good guideline. The second is to have good lighting. So you want to make a good impression, right? So you don't want to be in a dark, dim room where they can't really see you, and you can't let your personality shine through. So definitely want to be in a well-lit room. And the next one is you want to have your camera in a spot that it actually doesn't, where it shows you. So you don't want to be too far from the camera. You don't want to be too close to the camera. You also want to make sure that there's no obstacles in the background, so no one's going to walk behind you or anything in the background that might be distracting in the interview. So you want to have a very basic background and low traffic area where you're not going to run into any distractions during your interview. So those are 3 tips that I would recommend for a virtual interview, as we're probably going to be in for the foreseeable future.
Oh, wow.
I guess I'll stop there. Are there any questions on kind of a virtual interview and tips, or maybe if anyone's been on a virtual interview, any struggles or questions they've had?
Put a 1 in the chat if you think you're going to be looking for a job anytime soon, or 2 if there's no chance you won't be looking at all. Okay, Dion, not going to be looking at. Brianna, yes, you're going to be looking. Gabrielle, Eliana, you already have one. Well, let me ask, maybe Gabrielle, would you mind sharing with us if is that going to be in person, or is that going to be online?
I'm not really sure yet, to be honest. I'm definitely, because like I just turned 16 and finding like a job is something important to me. So I don't know yet.
Okay, so you're still in the process. Kayla, you will be looking soon, online or in person? How about you? In person. Okay. Leandre, online or in person? You'll be looking?
Yeah, I'll be looking preferably in person, but if it has to be done online, then it'll be done, right?
Okay. And Amanda says she's having trouble getting an interview. What's the trouble, Amanda? You're overqualified?
I don't know. I've applied to several jobs. I thought I fit the description, trying to get my cover letter together, trying to, get my resume suited to fit, the criteria, but just not getting any callbacks. I don't know. Struggle's real.
Okay. Tafara, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. How is the job market out there in Jamaica? Is there, especially for young people, is there a lot of opportunities? Not very many. Is it pretty competitive?
Well, they're not very. There isn't much right now. The most suitable place right now in Jamaica for our youngsters is the call center.
Oh, call.
Yeah, and it's very difficult. They're very difficult to get a job. You have to like know someone, that knows someone that could hook you up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So is that, as far as being competitive, then, would you say that interview skills and the ability to interview is going to become that much more important?
Yes, you have to know how to communicate real well in order to get a job, especially if you don't have a link, if you call it that way, like you don't know someone. You have to be able to sell yourself properly to the interview.
Okay.
Yeah, those are really good points. And that's another tip that you can definitely leverage. If you know anyone for the job that you're applying for, or even a company that you're interested in, reach out to your friends, because if your friends work at that company, or reach out to your friends who may know someone that works at that company. Because if they can kind of help get your resume in front of the correct person, that can really help you get a job interview. And also they can help you prepare for the interview. They can ask you the questions they got asked, and they can give you tips on how the business runs, and see if you're really interested in it, and just provide general help as well. So.
Okay. So Taylor, we have about 3 more minutes. So anything you want to wrap up with?
Yeah, so the last tip I just share, and you'd be surprised, 50% of people don't do that, is rather send a follow-up email or a follow-up call, just thanking the person who interviewed you for the time. So in that interview, you can follow it up with one of your follow-up questions. So that question that I brought up earlier about what are the top 3 characteristics that you're looking for someone successful in this position, if you can answer in that follow-up email those 3 characteristics and why you'd be a good fit, that's a good way to stand out and leave a lasting impression and increase your chances of getting a call back and getting the final offer.
Okay. Any last questions? Nina, if you send a follow-up email and haven't heard back yet, should you send another one?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Nina. Majority of the time you usually hear back, but in the case that you don't hear back, I would definitely send a follow-up email maybe 2 to 3 days after. Just express your interest in the job again. Just want to say thank you. I really appreciate the time and look forward to hopefully hearing back. I would keep it definitely shorter in the second email, but it doesn't hurt to follow up at least once. But I probably wouldn't follow up. If you don't hear back on the second one, I wouldn't follow up on the third one, but following up once after, if you haven't heard back, is definitely a good thing to do. It shows that you're really interested in the position and kind of confirms your interest and can help you out.
Okay. Dion, I don't want my possible employer to think I'm thirsty. Dion, can you elaborate on that, if you don't mind? It'd be great to hear what you mean by thirsty.
It's exactly what it sounds like. I was just like, Oh no, I think that it'd be a bit odd if they choose not to respond and then I go out of my way to text or email again when it's like obviously the email was received. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm weird for that, but
No, you ain't you're not weird at all, man. You're right.
Younger, I used to think that as well too. I'm like, are you I would ask my mom, I'm like, are you sure? Do I call back? Like, what if I become annoying? What if they're like, no, because she keeps calling? She's like, no, they want to see that you really want the job. They want to see. And then you're standing out, you're making yourself stand out compared to everybody else. Because some people are just doing the interview or giving their resume and keeping it like that. So when you follow up, that's like, oh, wow, okay. Because sometimes they get busy. Sometimes they get flown with a whole bunch of work and forget. Because I've done that before, called in and they're like, you know what, I was actually gonna call you, I forgot, but I put a sticky note to call you back. So it's that you're second guessing yourself, but don't do that. You should definitely call back.
Okay. How's that, Dion? Is that some good advice?
I think that was very helpful.
All right, thank you. So last comment for you, Taylor. Dang, Nina, harassing the poor guy in the messages.
Asking some good questions.
I think, like Taylor said, after you follow up, just one more reach out, then you'll know. Agreed. Okay. Any last things before we wrap up?
No, that's really it. So just really those, just kind of reiterate really quickly, just 5 points is research the company, 2, understand your why, 3, formulate good questions, 4, prepare for a virtual interview if it's in COVID times, and lastly, just send a follow-up email.
Okay. I only got one of them. I was trying to type them, but my typing skills are not that good.
I can put them in the chat too.
Okay.
Yeah, put them in the chat.
Okay, perfect. Okay, because we couldn't get the message clearly from Nina. Nina, do you mind sharing your opening message again? Maybe we can do that now.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Am I clear? Okay. Yeah, so like I was saying before, Phase 1 Youth is here to provide any support that you guys need. We're actually offering a Journey Awards scholarship that will be starting in the next couple of weeks. You guys are kind of the first to know. We're offering a $5,000 scholarship for youth. So anyone 14 to 21 who has any extracurricular activities or registration fees that you need support with, we actually partner you up with a mentor just to kind of help you through whatever extracurriculars, if you're applying for school, just to give you a guide. And this is our 2nd year doing this, so just hop back on our website, www.phase1youthassociation.com, and scroll down and click scholarships, and you can learn more about it. But you guys are the first ones to know, so go ahead and check out the website. You can check out the timeline and start your application.
Okay, and then Tristan, you didn't get to hit them with your message about the tag.
Oh, okay. So everybody in the chat, all the young fellas, all the young ladies, please tag everybody on your post about our chats that we're having, and you'll get an extra $5 e-card. And yeah, just keep it going. And if I were you guys, that's free money. So the more you can put in your pocket, that's cool. But you're getting a lot of nuggets from here that you could use in the future. So take every grain of salt you can.
Okay, and that will be done at the end of the week. We have one more session on Thursday. Like not sure if Nina mentioned it, but then we're still offering that $5 for up to 5 friends, $5 e-card for up to 5 friends. So that's another $25 in Amazon e-gift cards that you can get. Inviting friends to the next session. They would just have to put your name in the sign-up box. That where when they go to
in the referral section of the registration.
Yes.
So make sure they put your first and last name, and that'll go out the same time at the end of the week as if you tagged us on social media.
Okay. Yes. All right. So next up we have Raeanne Hinds. She's going to be speaking about standing up for others. And this is obviously, we are definitely at a time when this is a great topic, for us to get into. So thank you, Raeanne. You take it away.
Yes, give me a second. I'm sending the code to somebody.
Okay.
Just a second.
All right. Well, here's the topic.
Okay. What, you were gonna say something?
No, I put the topic in the chat. So.
Yeah, so the topic that we're going to be talking about is standing up for the importance of other people's rights. I wanted to start off with like a quick little game, like a true and false, just to see like what you guys know from what you guys don't know. Is everybody willing to play?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep, we're all here.
I need to hear it. Like you guys are making me feel like I need to make sure that somebody's on the other side of the screen. So I need everybody to either say yes or say yes in the box. So I know everybody's here listening.
Okay. Yeses are coming.
Okay, good. Okay, so the first question that I'm gonna ask, I'm gonna say the statement and then you just basically tell me if it's true or false. If it's true, what can we say? Do you have any advice and targets?
True is it 1 and false is 2?
Okay, we could do that. So everybody could be in the box saying that. So the first statement, the Criminal Code of Canada. I know that there's people from all over the world, but I'm pretty sure it's similar because I've checked in the United States as well as Canada. The Criminal Code of Canada contains a specific law for cyberbullying. Is that statement true or false? 1, if it's true, 2, if it's false. And if you're on like audio, you can like tell me
what
you think.
Okay, well, we got a bunch of ones, so that might be a. I think that.
So the one, they think that statement is true?
Yes, and so I think it's pretty unanimous. I think we got all ones.
Okay, well, that statement is actually false. The Criminal Code of Canada, they do not contain a specific law for bullying. So what they have under the laws, they have certain things that contain bullying or what people may be doing to people that is cyberbullying and things like that, and that may fall under a law. So let me elaborate on that. It's basically if you have your picture being uploaded and you never gave consent, like doing certain things like that, you could be breaking a law. But like the whole like cyberbullying, they don't have specific laws for that.
Okay. You got some Rouse and LeShock in the chat.
Rouse and Shocks? Yeah. So like, cause it's so simple to say cyberbullying, but there's so many things that may pertain or be considered as cyberbullying, but they have a list of laws that may fall under that. So things that are happening to you either online, even offline as well, in person, bullying, may fall under an act that you're breaking. And that may, amount to some repercussions happening and things like that. But that I'm gonna explain later on. Another statement, if law enforcement is contacted through Instagram, I'm gonna use a social media platform. Do Instagram have the right to provide the necessary information for their investigation, true or false?
Sorry, can you repeat it again?
Oh, the law enforcement, if they were to contact Instagram, Instagram has the right to release the necessary information for their investigation.
Oh, okay.
That statement true or false? I'm not sure what's being said in the chat.
We got a mixture. We got 1, Dion 1, Stephen 1, Ethan 2, Leandre 1, which is yes, Tristan yes, Brianna false.
Okay, so that statement is true.
That statement?
Yeah, so like let's say I'm the victim and I feel that I have been wrongfully either being abused online or being bullied to an extreme. I can go to the police, and when they're doing their investigation, they are able to retrieve certain information through Instagram. They have the right to take information from Instagram to really to help with the investigation.
Gabrielle said because it's evidence.
Right, that's correct.
And who else? Eliana, you said yay, happy, patat. Well, maybe you can explain that. I'm not really sure what you mean.
Normally I would call myself a potato, so I just said, yay, happy potat. Short version for potato.
Okay, because you got the answer right.
Okay, so I have one more. I'm going to use Instagram again. Instagram will help you mediate or dispute anything, like any interactions between any accounts or people you have on Instagram. Like, so if you have an issue, or if you feel that you've been being bullied, or people are saying something to you that's unfair or against you type of thing, like do you think Instagram will help mediate that issue?
1 for yes, 2 for no. You got a real mixture this time. We got a lot of 2s coming, a lot of yeses.
Okay, so the answer to that is
no, sorry. 2 no, sorry. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Uh-oh.
Okay, so the answer is false. Instagram will not help mediate those type of issues.
Gabrielle said, I mean, you can block and restrict people.
Yeah, so like if you have like issues like that, and let's say who you're having that issue with, and they're going against the guidelines, because they're not laws, the guidelines of Instagram will look into it, and then if they feel that yes, those guidelines have been broken, then yes, they could remove their abilities to be on the Instagram platform. But yeah, the easier way for you is to like, yes, block them, because once they're blocked, they can't really say anything much to you, right?
Yes. Just can I, out of curiosity, has anybody run into this type of issue? Just anybody in the chat? Anybody run into this type of issue? We have Gabrielle, yes. Leandre, no, thankfully. Brianna, yes, some people are annoying and persistent.
What about like, what if you seen something inappropriate or uncalled for being either said or being either written on Instagram? Like, what have you guys dealt with anything like that? And if you have, what did you do?
Yeah.
It's not only on Instagram, like Snapchat, Twitter. What else is being used?
Eliana said, not me, because I ain't on Instagram.
Okay.
VWV. Amanda, report them. Gabrielle, I had to take, Gabriella had to take it to the police. Leandre reported somebody for a hate speech.
Right.
Steven, ignore it. Nikayla, yep, and unadd or block buttons look really nice at those points.
And they're even, I don't know if this is new, but I've also noticed on Instagram that if you're, let's say, providing information on a certain subject or topic, and someone reports you and like says like it's false, what they're saying is false, they'll also notify the picture and say some of the information being said is not guaranteed. It's not like, what is it? It's not factual. Then they'll also kind of block that what you uploaded or said as well too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brittany put Amanda Todd a story. She said to Google it. It's a great story discussing cyberbullying. She just added that.
Okay, thank you. I'll take a look at that. What is it? Is it an article?
Brittany, you want to tell us really quick about it? Anything?
Yes, I worked for a gender-based violence agency called MedTrack, and we did some work with Amanda Todd's father. She was a young lady that I'm trying to remember what city. It was a city in Ontario where she was being cyberbullied. She reported it. She moved from school to school, and then she eventually suffered from suicide. Just how, because she was trying to reach out for help and no one was helping her. So it kind of hit her father as an advocate on trying to make, as what you were saying, that a law, like a federal law. If you are cyberbullying, you can actually get time for it. So if you look up her story, Amanda Todd, I also done some workshops with her father, and yeah, they have a great platform discussing cyberbullying.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Thank you for sharing that with us. See, that was fun, wasn't it?
Okay.
So
Very fun, very fun.
No, not that part. She said, he's talking about the participation.
Yeah, the participation, yes. And like obviously exchanging ideas so we can better inform ourselves and educate ourselves. When I said the statement of the importance of standing up for the rights of others, what comes to mind? What comes to mind? Even like about, if you want to talk about even like the situations in society right now that we're dealing with, or what stands out to you, any issues? I would like to know, like, even like other people, maybe like in Jamaica, America, like, because if you share some of what you're dealing with in society as well, or what you hear, it would be a good way to compare to see if we're dealing with the same things too.
Actually, I'm really curious about that.
Yeah.
Brianna asked if you can repeat the question because she really wants to respond. That's great.
Okay, so I probably said like 2 questions in one, but I said, when you heard me say this statement in the beginning, the importance of standing up for the rights of others, what came to mind? It doesn't have to be necessarily on that statement, but it could be also like certain issues. You can touch base on certain issues that we're dealing with right now in society.
Gabrielle said police brutality.
Mm-hmm.
Kayla, racial equality. I'm curious.
Is Gabriella from, is she from here, like Canada? I want to know if it's like the same.
Dion said he's so lost right now. So try again one more time, and then just repeat the question again one more time.
So I'll answer my own question. The importance of standing up for the rights of others. When I hear that, I hear what came to mind is the inequality that Black people like myself has endured, and like, what could I do? Like, what is my place that I could do to help not only my people, but for myself as well? Because a lot of like listening to a lot of what's going on in America, I personally haven't experienced it with myself, but to know that people like me that look like me are experiencing something totally different, that hits differently. So in my mode, like especially with COVID, I'm at home a lot. I do a lot of thinking, I do a lot of researching. So like doing that, it has me thinking like, what can I do to help? You know, what can I do differently? Even like being asked to be on this platform to talk to you guys as well. I was excited to do that, just to share some of my knowledge and things like that. So that's what I meant when I asked you guys.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, Brianna, in Jamaica, you know, in terms of standing up for rights of others and situations that come up, you know, what do you see, or what, you know, or what really stands out, or as something that you and your peers have to deal with in your community?
There's a lot of crime here, but personally, sometimes we personally cannot do anything. We just have to leave it up to law enforcement. And sometimes law enforcement, mm, mm, they are sometimes in the wrong as well. So personally, we as civilians, there's nothing much that we can do.
Okay. Actually,
Yeah,
I'm,
we just have to
I'm
pray.
kind of curious, Brianna, is like police brutality. I mean, you know, where you are, is that something is that an issue that you would deal with, that people deal with locally?
Well, it's a yes and no question, because sometimes here, sometimes all they have to do is listen to what the law enforcement say, and they just do it and follow. But some people think they're, I would say, bad, you know, and they don't want to listen. So that's where it will come in, and the law enforcement will kind of go extreme with the beating and carrying on. But yeah, it's just the bad people that don't want to listen. That's where the police brutality comes in, and then the other civilians will try to help and they will get hurt also.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow. That almost, it's like going into the what I was going to speak on. Like we all have basic rights and freedoms. Depend, like it doesn't matter wherever you are in the world, it's the same. You know, we as individuals, we have created rights based on our values, beliefs, things like that. But the thing that a lot of people, I find, even myself, we don't know much about our human rights. We must acknowledge the fact that um, we all have the same rights. And maybe if we even educate ourselves more on what are those simple rights are, we can better help other people.
Brianna said that human rights are ignored a lot.
It is.
So, Brianna, can you elaborate on that a little bit for us?
Like sometimes here, like if the police wants to come and search, they just walk in and search. But I think we do have a right to our own property and our home. So sometimes they don't knock and say like, hello, we'd like to come and search your premises. They just barge in. So I think that is one of the rights also that is ignored.
True. So would you say this because you know?
Yes, without a search warrant. This is Jamaica.
Brianna advanced. Brianna is advanced.
Right, so I feel like you know some of your rights that you're already stating right now. So would you say that you would allow them to just do that, but then you do your further, I would say take it further now and make an investigation about that. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I feel like a lot of what the police does, they overstep and see how far they can go because we've allowed it. Nobody said anything. Like I understand, like, yes, they don't knock on the door. They feel like they can just push open the door without a warrant and come through. But I feel like if we just respect that, even though it's wrong, we respect that, but then take it further once that is all done, right? We take it further by like getting a lawyer or going for legal advice, so we can now take that to the next step and make an investigation. And I feel like that's what a lot of people are now doing in the States. We're coming together and saying, hold on, like the way you treated that person, that is not okay. And now we're helping each other now to take it to the next steps and making it a bigger issue and making it public for other people to see, like, this is what we're doing, like dealing, like being dealt with. This is what we had to go through, right? Because a lot of it's because we kept hush. A lot of it happens in low income areas. a lot of it, we don't know our rights. We don't know that we can go get legal advice now and see what we can do to further help that, and like to further help that, right?
Well, it's interesting because, I've seen that in so many different settings, like whether it's in school or you see somebody in a store or, or there's a lot of situations where both sides of it are maybe not clear on the rights. And there's always this gray area where it's, where we're unsure, is our rights being violated? Are we within our rights to be able to do something? And I think what happens is something, you ever heard that saying, being wrong and strong, and I think unfortunately a lot of times, we take the side of being wrong and strong. And I think sometimes if we just exercise maybe a little bit more patience, and like I'm just sort of reiterating what you're saying, Raeanne, that, sometimes if we have the ability to take a step back and, and not be explosive in the moment, but do your homework and make sure that what's within your rights, and then follow up and retaliate. Now you're armed with knowledge, and information on yourself.
Yeah, you have something on them, and that's why a lot of those police officers, not only are they being filmed and things like that, using that as an example, but they have so much things against them because now they have a team behind them that is now showing like, wait a minute, what you guys did is wrong.
So we have Akela, Brianna said, rights hasn't happened to me, but I've seen situations like that. Akela, everything also being documented and published for public eyes and awareness. Yeah, that is huge now. Gabriella said, hasn't it always though? Brianna, sometimes there are videos published on social media and the law enforcement is tagged, but haven't seen where nothing has come out of it because majority of the time, both parties are wrong in some way. Nina said, very true. I've seen this happen before.
That is so true.
Nina, do you want to, you're the last one to respond. Maybe you could sort of summarize what that discussion was about for us.
Basically saying like, if two people are having an argument and they're both kind of posting or, publishing like content that's not for public, but they both end up doing it and the police are tagged, but on our end, we don't really see what comes of it. Like sometimes the video isn't taken down or like the other party doesn't come on and say, this is what happened afterwards. So a lot of times you see wrong happening and the police are tagged, but we don't really see what happens after that. So in our minds, it's like nothing really happens.
Wow, that is huge. I didn't even thank you for that because a lot of times we only see the front end of it, but we don't see what happens afterwards. That is very, very true. Dion, are you still with us?
Yeah. What's up?
No, I just wanted to just see because you're the one that you had made a comment that you were a little bit lost. So I just wanted to just follow up and see, are you caught up now? You sort of caught what's going on, what we're talking about?
Yeah, I'm good.
Awesome. Just making. I was just checking up on you. Okay, Raeanne, go ahead. You can continue.
Yeah. So my other question is, what are some of our human rights that you guys know of? I wanted to make a list of what you guys say.
Okay. So what are some basic human rights?
Yeah, some basic human rights that you know that you can share with us today. General rights. I will start off with one. We have the right to an opinion. Right? Would you agree?
I honestly, I do agree, but in this day and age of cancel culture.
Oh, and I feel like they're doing that to kind of confuse us.
Brianna, right to privacy. Shania, freedom of speech. Brianna agreed. Gabrielle, freedom of speech and religion.
Yeah.
Michaela, right to freedom of speech or right to vote.
Mhm.
Anyone else? Like, the right to a fair trial. The right to live where we want, well, within our country's boundaries. Where does the right to well, to protect yourself to an extent, like or to be safe? Is there specific? I'm just thinking of the wording. Like, is there a specific wording for the right to either protect yourself or to be, to not be harmed physically? Is that something that we have a right?
They basically say our rights for those things to be protected is through the laws that they give us.
Okay.
The laws, yeah.
In America, they have a right to bear arms. And I think in some states, they're allowed to protect their own land. So if an intruder comes on, they're allowed to protect themselves, whether that's, shoot first or whatever. But I don't know if that's for all states, but I know that's not in Canada for sure.
I think it's in all states.
It's in all states.
As long as if you even put your toe on the grass.
Yeah, and there's a sign that says private property, they have the right.
Oh,
yeah.
They instantly, those are the ones that are waiting for somebody to step on
Yeah,
the grass.
Brittany's just said it, stand your ground, that's it.
Okay,
It's your stand your ground law for self-defense.
Is anybody on the call live somewhere where you have a right to bear arms? Is Trinidad, Jamaica, anyone living somewhere where you have a right to bear arms? No? Okay. You have about 4 more minutes, Raeanne.
If you don't know your rights, then like we've said, where might you go find your rights? Where do you think you can go? You can better educate yourself so you can better help other people. Because most of the reason why I find that we don't stand up for other people's rights, even though you can tell morally it's not right, is because we don't know. We're not too sure. We're on the fence. We don't want to get in trouble. Some people don't stand for other people as well too because they don't want to get involved or get in trouble. So where could we go find or better educate ourselves about our rights?
Okay. Kayla said the Canadian Charter explains some.
Yep.
That works if you're in Canada, the Canadian Charter. Nina, Canada. Dion, in classes, it's generally glazed over. Okay, that's interesting. Why would you think that is? I know that's a tough question to answer, but you said it's generally glazed over.
Do they even talk about your rights in school? Do they? I don't know.
If you take civics,
Yeah.
like a civics type class, yeah, civics. Kayla said civics, grade 10. Gabriella said because teachers don't care. Dion said I meant how it's mentioned only briefly and not much depth is given. Yep, you're absolutely right. Okay. Rand, we got a couple more minutes.
So I just want to close it up then quickly and just let you guys know that's the reason why Phase 1 Youth Association came together building these workshops for the young youths, because we're not only here to help share our knowledge and experience, but even just to be there for you guys if you guys want to talk, right? Even just to even talk about what we talked about today. Because I know sometimes people don't know where to go when you want to look for help, or just to build that connection and just talk. You know, a lot of it, the times, especially me, living by myself, just by talking to somebody and hearing the good spirits, seeing what other people else are like, what other people are working on during this time, it helps not distract my mind, but also you guys can bounce ideas off together and with each other, and seeing your place in the world and in society right now where you can help, that's always a great thing.
Okay. Akela had something that really, that I think we'd love to have her maybe share with you, Raeanne, share with us, where she says that some won't tell you in fears that you'll use it against them. It was an answer to the question about, knowing where your rights are and how to find out what your rights are. Gabrielle said,
and what was
Akela, do you mind elaborating on that?
Oh, that's fine. So for example, in schools, they might not necessarily tell you about your rights because they'll fear that, I don't know, it's like a mental thing that some teachers have, or like a mentality that some teachers have, where if you know your rights and you use it against them, they'll feel kind of powerless. And it also works with authorities too.
I actually agree with
Gabriella gave a super true. You want to add anything to that, Gabriella?
She hit that on the
I know like a lot of teachers that are like super racist, and they'll avoid like certain topics, like not necessarily about your rights, but that has happened before, but they'll avoid certain topics just because they don't want to be perceived as racist, because some kids are like myself, like I've told off teachers multiple times because they'll say certain things, and it's like, how are you an educator and then you want to like push this narrative on students? And a lot of people are clueless, so they'll just agree. So stuff like that, like they'll just try to keep things away from you. They'll even like history class, like that's why you don't learn about like Black history, about the important aspects of Black history. They keep like teaching kids the same watered down message because they don't want you to know the truth, because once you know the truth, you can now question them and then they'll no longer be correct.
Wow. It's Gabriella, right, that was just speaking? Gabrielle, I have a quick question. If you do want to have a deeper discussion on that right now, where could you turn?
Honestly, to myself and maybe TikTok. Like honestly, I've learned more from being on, no, like I'm very serious. I've learned more about my history, my identity, like this country's history, all of that off of TikTok than I have my entire, I think, 10 years of being in school. Like it's absolutely ridiculous that they don't teach us any of this stuff.
You know what it is? It's like everybody who wants to further their education on their history, and that's what's happening now. Because even during Black history and stuff like that, she's right. I'm 31 years old and I've gained a lot of knowledge through Instagram. I'm like, really? Oh my goodness. And I never got that at all in high school.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to explore TikTok, but thank you, Raeanne. I was actually very surprised by that response. That was awesome. Thank you all very much. Next we have Tristan Martin, and Tristan is talking about teamwork, and this is again some we feel some very important topics that that may be concerning you, impacting you at this time. So take it away, Tristan.
Well, guys, thanks, Wayne, for introducing me.
Give us your backstory.
I'm getting there, Wayne. I'm getting there. I just want to say that I'm thankful for being here. I'm super excited to reconnect with everybody. This has been some crazy times. But first of all, before I even get into everything, I just want to know how everybody is doing. I don't care what you say on the chat. I don't care if you come online and come on the audio and say whatever you got to say. Just, I love how Raeanne is really outspoken. And my motto is closed mouths don't get fed, and that's a big thing that she just stated right there. For her to just come out and just spiel it out, this is what it's all about. So I want everybody in the chat, I don't care who it is, but I want the young people to do it, is come online and tell me what, like how you feel, like how you coping through all of this stuff. I don't even care if you just come out and say a quick thought. I'd rather that, to be honest. And then we'll get into the spiel of things. Anybody, I don't even care. Just come online. I don't even, to be honest, I'd rather hear voices. That's what I got on here for.
Okay. Anybody, who we got? I mean, we got
Call out Josiah.
Josiah.
Call out. Okay. All right. Well, if nobody wants to get into that, then that's cool. But
we got a couple people that
got them. Okay.
So we got a couple people. I mean,
and the reason why I'm asking this is all leading into what I'm going to get into, because everybody has, given their, their thoughts and opinions on how you should deal with being in the being on the lockout. But this is giving me a better idea of understanding how we can attack everybody's everybody's issue. Steel sharpens steel. And that's the reason why we're here at Phase 1 Youth Association. Well, anyway, let me just get into my background and how I know Wayne. Met Wayne when I was 14, just like Tyler. I remember Tyler big time. I remember when he was crazy. I remember he's younger than me, but big man now. We're all men. I see a few other names on this call. Young guy, went to the U.S. very young. Explored the States, came back, loved the basketball, but definitely needed coaching. Wayne definitely taught me a lot and made me understand life. And that's a big aspect of teamwork. He definitely came into my life, Tyler's life at 14 years old. That's crazy.
Taylor.
Taylor, and it's crazy how you look at now, how old you are and how old I am, and it comes around full circle, and that goes a long way with, connecting the dots and teamwork. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. I just want to ask you another question. Do you guys even know, have you ever heard of that term, teamwork make dreams work?
Yeah.
Okay. Dreams work. Do you guys even know who even came up with that?
No, I don't know that though.
But you've heard it before, right?
Oh yeah.
Exactly. No one knows who this guy is, but the word just makes so much sense, right? And this is why we're here today, connecting the dots. I'm telling you, I'm super excited. I've been sitting here antsy waiting to talk, because I've been dying to just connect with everybody online, even if I don't know you. This is big time, because this is what we got to do in order for us to see what our weaknesses are. Like, how many of you have been just calling people, not just to play video games and not just to, just, it's cool to chop it up, but like, how many of you guys been working together and building each other up?
Oh, wow. That's a really good question.
Besides playing video games. Like I'm gonna bring up a name right now. Sorry to blow up your spot, but is it Dion? Is it Dion? I'm not sure, but he said, I remember what he said. He said that, he doesn't really want to, he wants to connect with people, but he just feels like he doesn't have anybody to really say anything real to, right? So if you go down the line of all your friends, right, how many of those people relate to what you love? You know what I mean? Like, you got to go down the line and you got to really see who really enjoys what you love to do, and connect the dots, man. Because with Wayne now, he sees that I have something to bring to the table as far as my my talents in different areas, and there's other talents that he may not have. So that's when I come into play, and I, pick up on his weaknesses. And teamwork is a big aspect of connecting, which is why we're here today. And I just want to know if anybody in this group has even called their best friend to even see if they can even talk about how are we gonna attack everything when things open up again. Has anybody even talked about that besides just
Yeah, okay. We got some responses. Akela, how about you? I know Leandra, I want to hear from you, but Akela, you want to respond to that?
Yeah, sure. So she's actually here.
Okay.
Gabby, me and her met, I believe, through a leadership camp. And
Yeah.
ever since then, I think this was maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Ever since then, despite us not necessarily living in like the same area,
Mm.
we've genuinely just like, she's one of the closest people to me. We've helped each other with school, even random stuff. I'll call her on like random days, or she'll call me, and it'll just be the most random conversation.
Mm.
But we hadn't seen each other in, I believe, 2 or so years, and she randomly popped up to my house and brought groceries for me and my mom, and it was just so sweet. But even that small sacrifice of coming to my house, especially during these times,
Yeah.
and bringing the food and being that thoughtful, just like it warmed my entire day, my entire week, if anything.
Your entire week. And what kind of things did you guys catch up on? Like, obviously life, just catching up on the things that you guys haven't talked about in a long time. But what are the things? Okay, what do you do, for instance? What do you love doing the most?
On an academic level,
Yeah, on an academic level, or just period.
definitely music and writing.
Okay, does she do music?
Fairly.
She does?
Well, not necessarily like music. She can sing, and it'll be on FaceTime, and I will expose that for sure.
Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. And now it comes back to connecting again, right? Look at me and Wayne. Wayne knew me since I was 14 years old, and randomly out of the blue, he hit me up during COVID. I've never had any problems with Wayne. Wayne treated me like a son. And now I'm going back to the people who boosted up my flame when I was in high school. Because when I played basketball, like I played against some pretty big people. Not too many people will probably know who I played against. But it comes back full circle. Now I see Tyler, he works in New York and he does business consulting. Well, I never really talked about what I do, but I'm a financial advisor now. And, you look at our network and you look at all these people who have something to bring to the table. You have Wayne, he builds foundations for kids, for all of us, and then you have Nina, who is amazing at what she does. You know what I mean? Like she picks up on Wayne's weaknesses. You understand what I mean? So this is what I'm saying, guys. I didn't really want to come in here and preach to you guys too much. I just really wanted to come in and say that, listen, what we're doing over here and the reason why I'm involved in this, a lot of people know I never really used to talk like a lot. I was a very quiet guy and flary guy because I was just always competitive, and this is a great time for us to, for instance, Leandre, this is a great time for you to call guys like me. This is what we're here for, to see what gaps you have in your plan, or if you're even planning, because if we don't, it takes a village. You know what I mean? Like I was running around and I didn't have no direction. This man walked into my life and gave me a bit of a path for me to follow and see what nuggets I should take and gave me a schedule. So if you guys, the whole objective is just trying to connect with the people who fuel your flame and roll with these people, make them sharpen up on the things that you guys don't do great, that you're not great at.
Absolutely.
So
Tristan, I really want to say that I think Leandre, I have a close relationship with Leandre, and I'm just curious, Leandre, do you find that the guys that are around you that are part of your team, does everyone really sort of fight to to maintain that connection? I think that's really what when you hear what Tristan's saying is like, it's very easy to lose that connection. It's very easy to just sort of take, whether you take it for granted or life's full of so many distractions. But if you really want a strong team, you got to fight for it. Do you find that in your circle? Are they fighting for it now at this time?
That's a good question. So I'll start with, a lot of the guys who are on my squad right now, like they have a couple of day ones that they've been with like from the get-go. And like for me, I came in grade 11 year and I was like new to everything. Like I didn't really know anybody. It was a completely new experience, right? So especially when it comes to a time like now, people are like, I still talk to my teammates, of course, because that's what you have to do. And it's important that people are sort of fighting to like, keep in touch, as Tristan was saying. Like I'll tell you, outside of basketball, I have like two friends who I check up on like every single day, and they check up on me too. Like they have goals and stuff like that, whether it just be basketball, but they just have goals in general, and I'm trying to help them achieve it, right? Same thing with me. But to go back to what you're saying, yeah, it's important.
Well, you remember the term that I said earlier about, you ever heard of that term, steel sharpens steel?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a big one, and this is why I'm even on this chat today, because I know, like, I'm sitting there and I'm listening to Tyler again. I'm listening to Amanda. I'm listening to Raeanne, and I literally have notes. I have notes, guys. So this is what I'm talking about. You guys have me, Wayne. You have people who have been in these positions and seen these things for years. You have nowhere to run. Like there's nowhere else for you guys. You don't have to look. This is where everybody can connect the dots on your weaknesses, and we don't hold malice against each other, because I know that I'm not great at doing a lot of things, right? So if I have a question, like for instance, I literally I'm in the financial game, but there's still not a lot of things that I know, and I love my job, because I take it as passionately as I did with basketball, helping people and connecting with people. And there's no way in hell in the financial game, me and you can't have a good relationship and be close to each other, and I'm dealing with your money. That doesn't make sense. We have to find a way to coexist. It's agree to disagree, right? So, at the end of the day, you guys have to do your due diligence as well and know what you guys have in your back pocket. And this is a great engine for you guys to really, feed off of and sharpen up your skills. And whether it's being in an interview with Taylor, you know what I mean? Like he's giving you guys nuggets for you guys to win. Why wouldn't you guys are getting this for free? So you guys have to understand, these are nuggets you guys got to live with and roll with, because now you can modify it. If Tyler doesn't work for you, look who else you have. You have me, you have Denham Brown, you have Brianna, you have Amanda, you have Nina. The list goes on, man. The list is ridiculous.
Yeah, I think the thing is that's really challenging, and I'd like to ask some of the, just some of you as young people, in terms of building a team and building a network. I use the saying, your wealth is in your network is your wealth. Your wealth is in your network, and that's a saying that's used a lot in business, and it's sort of it's similar to what Tristan is saying.
Your net worth is your net worth.
Your network is your net worth. So just out of curiosity, Brianna, is that something that as young people, is that something that's really stressed on young people to begin to cultivate a strong network, you know, of relationships?
Well, sort of, I'd say strong. Yeah, sort of.
Okay.
Hmm.
Not
Yeah,
really?
I just have sort of for now. It's
Sort of.
yes and no.
Yes and no. Gabriella or Eliana, sorry, Eliana, let me try Eliana. How about you? Is that something that's really stressed with young people to building a strong network more than just, friends to hang out with, but a strong network? No. Gabriella, how about you? Is that something that is stressed a lot, or you hear stressed within your circle?
I think it just depends on the group of people. Cause like even if sometimes you'll be in a group and you're like, okay, well, we're gonna keep like this network kind of going. And then there'll always be that one person who just wants to make a muck out of it. So I think it just depends on the group of people and what your goals are. Because if your goals don't align, then like you're probably not gonna like be able to work it out this like in the best way possible.
Okay, let's get one more, and then Tristan, then you have a few minutes, you can wrap up. Can we get one more, maybe Stephen, or, we got a few people on here that we haven't had a chance to hear.
Tafari, where's Tafari?
Yeah, Tafari's always great.
Hold on, repeat that question for me.
Is it something that's really stressed a lot that you see stressed a lot in your circle of relationships, whether, at home or amongst your friends, developing a strong network of relationships, in order to help you succeed?
Is there anything you're asking if there's anything set up in my circle to enhance youth networking?
Yeah, to enhance your networking, yes.
Well, outside of college, no. But in college, yes, we have Jay and Wade. That's a bank here. Like they have a youth program going on with all the colleges in Jamaica, where we meet and talk about the same thing, almost the same thing we were talking about here. And they provide opportunities and give scholarships for youth and stuff like that. And they bring in mentors to come talk to us and give us financial advice, life advice, and stuff like that. So that's the only thing. But outside of school, I don't know of any.
Okay, that's good. You got, at least you're getting it somewhere. Okay, Tristan, you got a few minutes. So you want to?
Yeah. Let me wrap it up. My main conclusion here is just for all of us to stay connected, man. I mean, regardless of even if when the lockout is gonna end soon, and we got to get back into the swing of things and be able to learn how to weed out the things that we don't need, and the quicker we could, form, like build the team up, build the team together and work with the people that fuel our flames, man, then the sky's the limit. And you got to do your own research and love yourself first, and don't let nobody change that, and always know that the main thing for yourself is to connect with people, man. Don't ever let a pandemic or nothing else interfere in you connecting with other people, because that's how you're gonna succeed in life, is knowing who can I reach out to build up on my weaknesses. So that's all I want to say, guys.
Appreciate that, Tristan. Gabriella, she said, I think they need to advertise better too. So there is a need. So she's agreeing that there's a need for more forums and mentorship opportunities.
Yeah.
And so when you say they need to advertise better, what do you mean by that?
Like I feel like there's so many like programs and organizations like this one out there, but like not a lot of people know about them. So like for this one, for an example, like if Akela never told me about this, I would have no idea that it even existed. And I think like if it's advertised better, then more people can reap the benefits.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. And one of the challenges with organizations like this is we really get drowned out in the noise and pushed to the back. I can't tell you the number of times that I've tried to get the attention of the masses, but you got the NBAs going on, you got everything that Trump's doing every other day, and the political things that are taking place. And I think it's unfortunate for our young people, because a lot of times what gets pushed to the forefront is the things that are either big business, or big politics, the concerns of the adults, because for example, we the first year we did our scholarship, we had raised $2,000. We kept pushing it out on social media. We had 4 applicants for our $2,000 scholarship, and only 2 of them completed the process, and only 1 of them even followed up and got some money. So I think what we're doing different this time is, and I thank you, Akela, because now what we're doing is we're trusting word of mouth, and
that's the number one thing.
Yep. And we're just trusting that you will, if you get something good out of this, that you will share it with a friend, and we just build our network, the old-fashioned way, one voice at a time.
I learn about a lot of things as well too. Is usually word of mouth. Where should I eat? I want to hear what you have to say. Like, where's the best Jamaican spot? What book should I be reading right now? Sometimes you kind of get to understand the person too individually when they suggest what they like or what they've experienced and things like that. So word of mouth, number one.
How's that, Gabrielle, before we wrap up? That's okay. Thank you. So in light of that, I'm just letting you know, our intention is not to leave you hanging. Our intention is to continue to, offer more opportunities and share with you the opportunities we have. And that's why I just put a link in there for a survey, and that's how you're going to get your $20 e-gift card, Amazon e-gift card. You just need to fill out the survey. If you've done it already and done it once, we appreciate it. And for people like Akela, we owe you a few more bucks for all these referrals. But that feedback is what's going to help us, be able to organize the next opportunities, and mentorship opportunities that we have planned. So again, if you see it in the chat, make sure you got it. And the other one is, the other link I'm putting in here is to our scholarship. It hasn't opened yet, but you can go ahead and get your name in there early. So when we announce it, that you can be sort of at the front of the line. But we're hoping that we have more than 4 applications, because we've already started raising more money this year than in the past. So we thank you for staying connected with us. Continue to share with your friends. We got one more session on Thursday, 6 p.m. You're welcome to come back and join us, and invite some friends out. Any last things from anyone while we're wrapping up? Thank you to all our speakers today. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Raeanne, Tristan. Thank you, Amanda.
Guys, for having me, man.
Yes, really appreciate it. Ethan says thanks, everyone.
And Wayne, you could shoot all the everybody online, I could put my email up myself. And yeah, like I said, that's what I do, guys. Connecting is big for me. And I'll probably be reaching out to everybody after this. So everybody take care.
All right, thank you very much. I'm gonna stay on for about another 5 or 10 minutes just to make sure everyone has the links they need, the scholarship links, and I'll put the survey link in again one last time, and I'm just gonna stay on while you click on that, or if you have any other questions. But thank you all. Have a good night. Hopefully see you on Thursday and see you again soon.
Thanks, everyone. Stay safe.
All right, take care.
Night.
All right, Justin.
Good night.
Thank you, guys.
Take care, man. Take care. Be safe.
Raeanne, how you got that good light?
I can't tell you my trick. It's the ring light.
Wow, I'm looking at you and I'm like, I am so angry right now because all I see is this shadow over my face. All you get is teeth from me.
I got the ring light. Say hi, Naya. Oh, Naya wants to say hi. Come say hi. Hi.
Hey, what's up? I couldn't get some of that good light. Nyan, somebody could have.
You tell him you set it up for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
You gotta hook me up next time to get something. Hey, Brianna, you still on the call?
Oh, yes, I am, but it's a bit noisy in my neighborhood.
Wow, you guys. No COVID over there. You guys are partying over there.
It's just one house.
Wow, one house and making all that noise.
Yes.
Okay, we need to connect again because I got to talk to Dave and see if we can get you help again.
Okay, no problem.
All right, thank you.
All righty, bye-bye.
Bye. Dion, thank you very much. You're still on?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Where are you from? Are you you're in Canada?
Yeah, I'm from Toronto, but I am currently in New York.
Okay, New York. Okay. We just came back from the States. We just finished our 2-week quarantine. So I'm not sure if you're gonna need to, are you gonna be coming back anytime soon?
I'm not sure.
Well, you're not missing anything. I heard a rumor they may extend the lockdown another 2 weeks. So,
It's absolutely wonderful.
oh, wow. Yeah, I can hear it in your voice.
That sounds like a grown man.
We got Kamar, Kyle. You're still on, or you just left your phone and went and watched a movie and haven't come back yet.
Josiah, you're not going to introduce yourself? Rude.
Josiah.
Like he put us on.
Pardon me?
I said you're not going to introduce yourself. Remember Nina?
Yeah, I remember Nina.
Yeah, you can say hi.
Hello. Hi, Josiah.
Hey.
He's a big man now, Nina.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk to him like that.
Been a while, yeah.
Tall as you.
I know. Last time I saw him, he was like an ankle biter. He was tiny.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes, Wayne.
Yeah.
Wayne. We've known him since he was 4 years old. This is Nina's cousin. Nyan. I'm just sorry.
Nyan's cousin.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Nyan's cousin.
Oh, he's a proud Toronto Catholic District School Board student. That's
Oh wow. Is that
Yeah.
Okay. TDSB, baby. What?
Show.
Eliana, you still with us? No, Eliana's in Trinidad, so she always tells us about the wonderful weather over there. Makes her jealous.
Josiah had a question, Nina.
Okay, about.
He says, how do I refer people?
You know what? Send them to the website. Would that be the best one, Wayne, or is to the social media?
Website. I'll give him the exact link right now.
Yeah, so Wayne's gonna send you the link, but send them to the website and tell them to sign up for the forum. They actually have to attend and participate. But when they register, they'll be able to put your name in the referral slot, so that way you can get credit.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
I just
Sign up the survey.
just sent the link to you. Okay, so we got a few responses already.
All right, Rain, I'm out of here. Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, Tristan. All right, man. Thank you.
You're good enough. Thank you for having me. Bye, y'all. You guys be safe.
Yes, we got
All
more.
right, I'm still gonna-
I can't hear you. You're
We got
cutting out. Now your internet sucks.
Now we got more. We got more to do.
Now your mouth's open. All right.
All right, man. Good night.
All right. I'll hear you tomorrow, man.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
Oh, I sent them the wrong link. Oh.
What do you mean right now?
I duplicated it and something went wrong.
What happened? What was wrong with the link?
Well, the responses are not the names are different on the responses.
Well,
Something went wrong.
The one I'm looking at, the one that Brianna sent, Brittany sent.
No, some of the. Oh, okay, yeah, no. It's
So the one that Brittany was reposting is the right one because I see Amanda, Taylor, Raeanne, and Tristan.
okay.
So you might have just clicked the wrong one.
Yeah, I clicked the wrong one.
Okay.
well, does that mean I have to redo this?
No. It was on my end. It was on my end. So we're just looking at the responses right now. Raeanne, can you see my screen?
Yeah, right now.
So which forum session did you feel is most important to you today? Raeanne's standing up for others was most important. Which forum session did you find the most relevant to you? It's tied. Raeanne and with Amanda. But which forum session did you enjoy the most? That this one I made a mistake. I forgot to change this one. Nina, this is the one that was enjoyed the most.
Which one was enjoyed the most?
Oh, it's different.
Yeah, I forgot to change it.
Oh.
I messed up. I gotta change it really quick.
Stink.
You're ruining the stats here.
Yeah, I know. I'm about to fix it right now.
So, do I get like a $20 Amazon card as well, too?
Okay. I gotta do this quick. So we get so these stats might be a little bit
altered,
yes, because you know what, maybe you weren't so hot. Maybe I messed up.
Are you crazy?
Okay, I just fixed it. Okay. Amanda. Okay. All right. Now we can look at it again. Okay, Raeanne, which forum session do you feel is most important to you today? Okay, that one. Phil Edwards,
Which one was Phil again? He was the interview?
which session did you enjoy the most? What? Why is it showing more people than it's supposed to be on there? What is going on with my questions? 1, 2.
You can help me, sir? With that little red name.
Okay, I'm about to hang up. And
All right, thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm gonna go ahead and log off. See you guys on Thursday at 6 p.m.
Make sure to refer your friend.
Refer your friends.
Yes.
Bye.
bye. All right, take care.
Bye.